Tomlin's never had a losing season as Pittsburgh's head coach, but he does have a losing record against Denver. Today, the Steelers host the Broncos as we kick off Week 5 on EA Sports.
We are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Ray McCloud to return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here come the Steelers now on offense, led out by a man who's been at the controls since 2004. Six-time Pro Bowler, Ben Roethlisberger.
We talk so often about his physical attributes. Of course, the Big Ben nickname, his ability to take hits in the pocket, his ability to extend plays and get outside of the pocket. But how about this for efficiency? Top 10 in career NFL passer rating. And he's one of the top 5 winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. That's pretty darn good.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 16 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We got a top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench to tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 34.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. McLeod now on the return. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
A gain of 6 there on first. This defense for the Broncos, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense, just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Well, the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
A Pro Bowl quarterback early in his career in Minnesota before a horrific knee injury slowed down his progress. He's a more than capable quarterback and makes the most of his opportunities when he's a starter in the NFL.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Bridgewater. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
And unfortunately, in 2020, in the season opener, Cortland Sutton tore his ACL. But remember, over 1,100 yards in 2019, his future is still awfully bright.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Running left, it's Gordon on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Play fake. Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 80 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 31, Bridgewater. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Play action now. Bridgewater. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now Gordon on 1st down. He's to the 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Melvin Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into 1st downs and hopefully points.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Johnson's got it complete. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll run on 1st down. Gordon. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll get this pretty close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Shut him down! Shut him down! Let's do this!
Bridgewater. He's got his tight end Fant. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. He gets this down to the 3. Brought the power run out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Again, Gordon.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now 21-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise...
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
That's how we do it, baby.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. They hand this off to Harris. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A huge gain of 40 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Roethlisberger on the draw. It's Harris.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. On the draw, it's Harris. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Watch that in. Watch that. Guys, let's go. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful, and you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called?
Melvin Gordon leading Denver's offense back out.
Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. KJ Hamler returning it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard gain. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start up in the Twin Cities. Minnesota hosting Detroit in the NFC North. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. Miles Boykin, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Washington to check out the football team at home at FedEx Field. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Jameis Winston with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Cam Newton's thrown a touchdown pass. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Broncos. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. These two teams making their last-minute adjustments. The second half coming your way from Pittsburgh. And to bring it to you, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Here's Bridgewater. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. A turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Bridgewater now. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And the Broncos expected big things out of Jerry Jeudy, their #1 pick in 2020. But he really had to make a jump with the injury to Cortland Sutton. Almost 900 yards last year. A nice grab there.
On first down, it's Gordon. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
3 yards remain for second down. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. He'll get this one to Patrick. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll get this down only to the 18. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. And he's got his tight end Fant. Touchdown, Broncos. Noah Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, is one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 2nd and 10, Roethlisberger.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
47 is the mic. 47 is the mic.
Here's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They go play action. Bridgewater. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Complete. It's Johnson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
To throw again on 2nd down, Roethlisberger, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a dump off here complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized, you know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you, you know. If people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
108 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. On second down, Gordon once more.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Kareem Jackson. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Oh, and that a very short gain. They do get a first, but short pickups, not what they're looking for.
They'll run on first down. Gordon. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.